Christmas? Check. New Year? Check. London trip? Check. And guess who's back? If you've seen my member-only recap at the end of last year, you know I uploaded a total of 122 videos. This year, I want to do at least 150. So let's get started with that. A couple weeks ago, I had a look at a very cool piece of software called Squid servers, which was an application that allowed you to create a Minecraft server locally on your own system in a very easy and straightforward way, and it would then use playit.gg's tunneling system to make it so players from outside of your home network could join that server. It worked amazing, but in the comments of that Squid servers video, I received a bunch of comments from you guys saying that if I liked Squid servers, I should most definitely check out another application called AutoMCS, which apparently is something like Squid servers, but different. And according to a lot of you guys, better. Now, if it actually is better, we're gonna check that out. But it for sure sounds interesting. Also, it's getting really dark. Anyway, do make sure to double check if you're actually subscribed. The vast majority of my daily viewers are not, and I would appreciate it a lot if you did. So the piece of software we're going to be having a look at today is called AutoMCS, which stands for Auto Minecraft Servers. And it is a piece of software that allows you to easily create a Minecraft server on your own local system. And then you can either just port forward that server and make it so that everyone can join, or you can use playit.gg's tunneling system, similar to what Squid servers did, to make it so your friends can join. It obviously allows you to start a vanilla server, but also a plugin based one or a modded server. It supports Geyser. Of course, it supports playit.gg, like I just mentioned. And here on their GitHub, we can find some other notable features. And some of them really stand out. Like automatic backups, that is cool. But also custom remote access solution for managing on the go. That is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and download MCS. Like you can see, it is available for Windows, macOS, Linux, but also it is available as a Docker image. And you can just download the source code. Would you look at that? The software is licensed under GPL v3, which in fact is an open source license. It allows you to modify, distribute, and contribute to the software. In other words, yes, AutoMCS is open source, and you can do with it whatever you want. Now, after downloading AutoMCS from the website, it will give you a zip file, at least on Windows. This one you simply want to extract, whereafter it will give you an AutoMCS folder. In there, you will just find a single exe file, and this one you simply want to execute. Doing this will make the software launch immediately, and, well, there we go. Now it is time to create our own Minecraft server in literal seconds and make it so people can join with zero effort. It is really cool. So we're gonna click on create a new server. After that, we can choose between an instant server, which basically gives you the option between some of the most popular server instances, like paper, fabric, purple, and vanilla. We can also go ahead and choose a mod pack, which basically means that we just decide what mod pack we want to play, and AutoMCS will just boot up a server in the correct version and with the correct mod loader so that we can play that mod pack. Now, of course, the mod pack that we want, we can browse and find it on our own PC, or we can just click on download a mod pack, which will allow us to search for one. So if we want to play Cobblemon, for example, there we go, a bunch of different Cobblemon packs. And here we can now just choose the one that we like best. I don't even know which Cobblemon mod pack is the best, but I'm sure an avid player would know, and you can just go ahead and choose one and then have fun on the server. We can also simply import a server, so if you already have a server somewhere locally on your own system, you can import it, or we can go for custom, which is the one that I would recommend in most cases. So we're gonna click on custom, we're gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it a subscribe, because I would appreciate it a lot if you did. Then we're gonna click on next, and then we're gonna choose a server type. So what type of server do we want to run? We have a choice between paper, vanilla, forge, purple, fabric, but then we click on more, and there's also neoforge, quilt, spigot, and bucket. Those are all of the different types that you can choose from. Now, in 99% of cases, you're probably opting for paper or purple if you want to run plugins, and if you want to run mods, you're most likely going for fabric or neoforge. Whichever one you want, I'm gonna go for paper. We're gonna click on next. Now we need to decide on the version. Now, to choose a version, you can simply type out the version name. So if I would type here 1.0 1.21.10, then that is the version it's gonna pick. If I would do 1.20.4, then that is the version it would install. If you leave this empty, it will automatically choose the latest version. And yeah, that's how you decide it. So I'm gonna go for 1.21.11. Gonna click on next. Over here we can choose a world. So again, if you already have one available on your local system, you can browse for it. Otherwise, you can enter a seed and even choose what type of world you want it to be. So normal, super flat, large biomes, or amplified. I'm gonna go for a normal world. I am curious though what the subscribe seed would look like. So let's have a look at that. Then we're gonna click on next again. And over here, it will ask you, what do you want to do with the network configuration? In other words, if you prefer port forwarding. If port forwarding is for you the way to go, you simply want to log into your router, open a port, and that is how you want your friends to be able to join your server. Then be my guest, you can enter your IPv4, make sure to specify the correct port number here, and you should be good to go. If you don't want to do that though, if you don't want to go through the whole hassle of port forwarding, or you have an ISP that doesn't even allow port forwarding, which also still exists, then you simply want to tick this one, enable proxy, using playit.gg. So simply tick it on, there we go. Now you don't have to worry about port forwarding anymore. Playit.gg will handle the tunneling and will give you a domain that you can give to your friends so they can join your server. It will be really simple. Now we can also specify a message of the day. For example, a very cool testing server. There we go. And we can also customize the access control. Now, what is that? This is basically where you decide who is going to be an operator, who is going to be banned from the server, straight up, and who's going to be on the whitelist. Like, if you want the whitelist to be enabled, you can just tick it on, and there we go. The server whitelist is on. It is really handy. So if I want myself to be an operator on this server, we can simply go ahead and click on Add Rules, and then it wants us to enter usernames delimited by commas. So I can just do Casa Sora, and then we click on Add Rule, and there we go. You will see some information about me here, including my UUID, and we even have some options here to demote me, if that is something we want to do. So pretty cool stuff. Now I'm gonna go ahead and enable the whitelist. There we go. I'm an OP now anyway, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. Now after you're done with the whole access control, we can go ahead and click on next again, and now it will ask us for some default settings. One of them is managing add-ons. Now don't let this confuse you. Add-ons are not Bedrock add-ons or anything like that. When you're running a modded server, add-ons are mods, and when you're running a plugin-based server, add-ons are plugins. Because I'm running paper, you can see that when I go ahead and click on download, and I then type in essentials, just like that, there it is, Essentials X. We can go ahead and click, after that install, and we're good to go. It's as easy as that. If you want to add more, you of course can. You can also import them if you want. Over here you can also decide on the game mode. You can decide the difficulty, where hardcore is also an option here. Then do we want chat reporting to be enabled? Yes or no? Disable chat reporting? Sounds like a good call to me. Keep inventory you can enable. PvP, Bedrock support. So do you want Geyser to be installed? If that is something that you want, you can tick it on here. And then enable spawn protection. If that's something you want to do, you can. Otherwise, click on next again, and you will now get a general overview of what you're about to make. So we can see the name, the type, the version, what type of world it's gonna be, what the seed is gonna be, all of the options you've chosen. So from game mode to difficulty to keep inventory, stuff like that. Then who will have OP on the server, what is the MOTD gonna be, all of that stuff. And when you're done, we're simply gonna click on create server. It is simply gonna go over everything, and our server is now ready to be launched. Now down here we got a whole bunch of settings, which I'm gonna go over real quick. Here at the start we got launch, which is basically your default console. Here you can see how many players are in your server, if it is running or not, how much RAM and CPU your server is taking up, stuff like that. In the second tab, here you can create a backup. So if you're gonna do something experimental on your server, you might want to make a backup first, just to make sure you don't permanently ruin anything. Sounds like a good call. Next to that, we once again got the access control manager, which we had a look at before, and which is where I made myself an OP. This is where you can add players and remove and re-enable the whitelist whenever you want. Then here we once again got the add-ons, which is where you can download plugins or mods, depending on your server. Next we got a script manager, and you're even able to simply download scripts using this button. And then last but not least, we got settings. These are just some default settings. For example, if you want to limit the memory usage of the server, this is where where you can do that. If you want to enable or disable playit.gg or bedrock support, you can do that here too. And of course, automatic updates and deleting the server is also possible here. What we're gonna do though is we're simply gonna click on launch. We're gonna wait for the server to boot up. You can see it is immediately connecting to playit.gg, which is awesome. And there we go. This is already gonna be the domain that we're gonna need to join this server. It also pops up over here. So this one we can simply click to copy, and then we can fill it into Minecraft, and we should be ready to go. So let's give it a shot. We're in Minecraft, we're gonna add a server. This is the domain AutoMCS just gave me. We click on done, and there it is, our very cool testing server. We're gonna join, we will have to wait for a little bit, and there we go. Where am I? Oh, okay, there we go. Nice, we're on a Minecraft server that we've created in literal minutes. And we can now just go ahead and play on it. And that playit.gg domain, you can simply give that to anyone that you want to join. Make sure to add them to the whitelist if you have a whitelist. And then you can just go ahead and play together. It is literally that easy. There's nothing more to it. Now, because I'm currently on the server, you can see that I actually am. There we go, connect to players. That's me. When I click on my own username here, it will open up the access controller manager, and you can see some information. So Kasasura, I'm currently online. This is my UUID. This is my IP address. And before anyone starts screaming in the comments, no, this is not my real IP. It is a local loopback address, which is used for things like tunneling and stuff like that. And then you can also see location is this machine, because yes, I'm hosting the server on the same machine that I'm playing with. So that's why that is showing up here. So that is all pretty cool stuff. We also got uptime here, and of course the usage of RAM and CPU. It just all works really well. Now, I already know that someone is gonna ask, Kasasura, which one is better, Squid servers or AutoMCS? And the answer to that is, it is fully up to you. Squid servers is made to its core with playit.gg integration in mind. I don't even know if it is possible to host a server on Squid servers without using playit.gg. I think playit.gg is a necessity there, though I might be wrong on that. But if it is true, then that means if you want to simply make a Minecraft server on your own local PC, but you don't necessarily want to use playit.gg, then AutoMCS might be more interesting to you. In terms of UI and what the application looks like, that is of course personal preference. Some will prefer Squid servers more, others will like AutoMCS. It really is up to you and whichever layout you like more. And of course, don't forget about the telepath option they have available. This is basically what allows you to sync multiple instances of AutoMCS together, making it so you can access the servers that are running on one PC from another. AKA, let's say you're running stuff from your own home, but you're on the go on a laptop, then you can manage your servers on your laptop using telepath. Now, if you would like a dedicated video on how to set up telepath and how to enable this whole pairing thing, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I will make sure to get on to that. But this is also, as far as I know, an exclusive feature to AutoMCS. And then the last big difference is that AutoMCS is completely open source, with an open source license, while Squid servers is not. For some players, a software not being open source is already a red flag, and for that reason alone, they simply don't want to use it. If that is you, AutoMCS may be a better fit. To me, it is pretty clear why both of these exist. Squid servers is definitely the easier option. It is more simple, more straight to the point. It doesn't have any excessive features or niche features. It is just a piece of software that simply works. You click on start, Squid servers automatically tunnels it using playit.gg, they give you a domain, and bam, you're done. AutoMCS can do that too, but it also has a bunch of other things available. More niche features like telepath, which some players may really like, while others may simply not really care about it. So which one you prefer, it is completely up to you. I'll of course leave a link to AutoMCS in the description of this video. And with that being said, that's gonna be it for today. Do make sure to subscribe to the channel, join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you later, bye bye.